This is KSUT Public Radio. Regional news is next. Across our region, community members are raising concerns about the growing use of flock cameras, including in Denver and Jackson Hole, Wyoming. These are automated license plate readers that allow police to track vehicles. Supporters say the technology can aid investigations, but critics worry about privacy and how the data is shared. For the Rocky Mountain Community Radio Coalition, KDUR's Jamie Wanzek reports on how these concerns are playing out in Durango.
Currently, in the city of Durango, there are 24 flock cameras installed on top of traffic lights across the city limits and at the entrances to the Fort Lewis College campus. Police Chief Bryce Current says it's a tool local law enforcement uses.
Flock safety is a technology, one of the many technologies that we use to try to create a safer environment within our city.
Flock Safety is a privately owned startup worth $7.8 billion. The technology is used in 5,000 communities across the country, including several in Colorado. It's been in Durango since 2023. These cameras capture images of each passing car, their license plate number, make, model, color, and even bumper stickers and dents. AI then catalogs all this information, and it becomes a searchable database for officers. Current says this allows officers to pinpoint vehicles under investigation.
We look at the needle, not the haystack. The haystack is never looked at.
Officers can also receive real-time notifications of vehicles' whereabouts that are associated with a warrant. But it's not just Durango's data they can search. It includes nationwide locations too. As of now, 600 other departments have access to Durango's data.
If you drive a personal vehicle in Durango, your movements are being logged by this system, and there isn't really any way around that.
This is Ben Peters, who is a resident of Durango. He says Flock's sharing capability leaves potential loopholes when it comes to immigration and customs enforcement.
And I found that there were 60 agencies that Durango had shared access to its camera network with that have active 287G agreements with ICE.
These are agreements that local law enforcement has with federal immigration. There are none of these in Colorado. Although Peters submitted a request to see who the Durango Police Department is sharing their data with across the country. He cross-referenced that list with the Department of Homeland Security.
So what this means is that 60 agencies that can perform work on behalf of ICE and can perform ICE functions have access to Durango's camera network.
A Colorado law prohibits state departments from sharing identifiable information with other agencies for immigration purposes. So while the Durango Police Department did not directly share their data with Homeland Security, Peter says they left a backdoor open.
And I do believe that the department has potentially violated the Colorado law.
When Peter brought this to the DPD's attention, they were unaware that departments with 287G agreements had access to their system. Peter's request also revealed it's unclear how the DPD is conducting searches in the system.
We don't know what the search terms used were, if they were searching people's names or if they were searching just license plate numbers or vehicle descriptions. We don't know any of that.
Last summer, the DPD also bought a mobile trailer with a flock camera. It's currently installed along the river trail near a highway intersection. It's also been present at local protests. The DPD says that the trailer takes retroactive video that is used to monitor crime. They say they own that data and it's deleted after 30 days. But Anaya Robinson, the public policy director at the American Civil Liberties Union of Colorado, says that's not totally true. Flock's contracts with municipalities contain an additional provision.
Once the data is anonymized, Flock does hold ownership of that data in perpetuity, forever, worldwide.
Robinson says at that point, Flock can do whatever they want with the data collected by the DPD, including selling it to other companies.
It feels so sinister and simultaneously, in some ways, so impressive that they have been able to build a national network of surveillance effectively with virtually no one knowing.
Robinson explains that the ACLU doesn't necessarily have a problem with automatic license plate readers, But when law enforcement can search a location database without a warrant, it puts our Fourth Amendment protections at risk. He also says it's important that community members and local government have a say in whether or not a contract moves forward.
It creates a checks and balance system so that an agency, a division, a department of a government entity isn't making unilateral decisions about whether or not they get to surveil community. We're removing that from the people who are actually going to be using the tool and giving it to folks who are elected by the people to make those decisions.
And he says, most importantly,
it creates the requirement of a public process to have a discussion about whether or not community is willing to give up those civil rights and civil liberties for the use of this surveillance technology, and really bring into the public square that conversation about weighing whether that technology is going to do enough to support public safety to make sense for the erosion of those civil liberties.
The Durango Police Department's contract with the license plate readers goes until September 2027. For KDUR News, I'm Jamie Wanzik.
You're listening to Regional News on KSUT Public Radio. The U.S. Department of Justice announced on Monday that it is investigating Colorado's prisons and youth detention centers. For the Colorado Capital News Alliance, here's Kyle McKinnon with the report.
The federal probe centers on reports of excessive force and inadequate medical care and nutrition. Investigators will also review Colorado's policy for housing transgender inmates, including whether placing transgender women in female units violates other prisoners' religious rights. The Justice Department investigation comes after Colorado officials denied former Mesa County Clerk Tina Peters' request to be released on bail while she appeals her state conviction. President Donald Trump has repeatedly called for her release. Peters is serving a 9-year sentence for allowing unauthorized access to Mesa County's voting machines following the 2020 election.
That was Kyle McKinnon reporting for the Colorado Capital News Alliance. Students at the University of Colorado Boulder held a protest on campus last Thursday, calling on the school to end its contract with Key Lime Air. The Colorado-based company has provided charter flights for CU sports teams for more than a decade, but in September, the company began conducting immigration enforcement flights for ICE. For Rocky Mountain Community Radio, KGNU's Don Davis has the story.
Say it once, say it twice.
Say it once, say it twice.
We will not put up with ICE.
The rally called for the University of Colorado Boulder's athletic department to cut their financial ties to Key Lime Airlines, a Colorado airline based out of Centennial Airport in Inglewood. Key Lime is a known flight operator participating in immigration enforcement, busing detainees between ICE centers throughout the country. When Boulder Indivisible, along with other news organizations like Denver 7, asked for comment on the university's stance about claims pertaining to Key Lime, University Athletic Department spokesman Steve Holbert said, quote, "The university does not, as part of its guidelines, request that potential contractors provide a list of other business relationships unless they are relevant to assisting the university in assessing the capacity and competency of the company." Reporting for KGNU Community Radio, I'm Don Davis.
These border walls have got to go.
Support for local and regional news on KSUT Public Radio comes from the Colorado Housing and Finance Authority.
Support for public policy reporting comes from the Gay and Lesbian Fund for Colorado, promoting programs designed to ensure all Coloradans have the same opportunity to thrive. More information is online at gayandlesbianfund.org.
This is KUTE Ignacio, KDNG Durango, KUSW Flora Vista, and KPGS Pagosa Springs. We can also be heard in Farmington, Cortez, Mancos, Silverton, and we're online at ksut.org. We are Four Corners Public Radio, and we invite you to listen to KSUT not only on your radio, but you can try out our new app, which is available for both Android and Apple devices.